see that your cleaning company is very, very successful. Can you please tell my audience how everything is and, flow it out for us?
All right, thank you so much. So I am the owner of I'd Rather Be Clean, Jalicia's Cleaning and Food Services. We have been in business for about 2 years, but I've been cleaning my entire life. We have the company. I decided to do something catchy for the company because my father's last name is Mr. Rather. So that's why I wanted to be I'd Rather Be Clean. Cleaning is very therapeutic for me. I enjoy it as well. And I see that the joy that it brings to my customers as well. Before I'm even finished with my services, my clients are already booking future services and future appointments. We do residents, we do daycares, we do restaurants, we provide sanitation, desanitation, basic cleaning, one-time cleaning, whatever our clients are needing. Window services as well.
You said window service?
Yes, ma'am. Window services as well.
Outside and inside?
Yes, ma'am. We do laundry and meal services as well.
What?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah. See, you know what? I have a few people that I have seen want your service, and I've tagged you in several things. However, I did not know it was window service, and I didn't know that it was meal service.
Yes, ma'am.
Your list goes on, and I'm proud. That's what's up.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I love it. Okay, so before we get to your questions, how can they reach you?
Alrighty, they can reach me at Jalicia, I'd Rather Be Clean at Outlook.com, as well as Facebook and Instagram, as well as Yelp.com. All under Jalicia, I'd Rather Be Clean.
All under Jalicia, I'd Rather Be Clean. All right, well, Miss Jones, you laid it out. I might need to do my windows though, because I was thinking.
Yes, ma'am. Of course, no problem.
And some people may need you to do their baseboards. I'm not gonna get into that, but some people not going.
That's actually our deep clean is one of our specialties as well.
Girl, I'm like, it's a pet peeve of mine to see it. Like I know,
yes,
dust. If my vents are on the floor, so the dust comes up and hit the baseboard, so I automatically go around the house wiping when I see it. But it's like,
yes, of course.
And you be like, why didn't you just clean that before you just did that? Like, okay.
It'd be the small, tedious things that really just, you can pin up like, oh, wow, yeah.
But they go live right there, though. You don't have not one spot in your house you can go live.
Okay. So I'm going to need you to check your surroundings, please.
So are we going Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump in and get your questions going. Okay, so let's make sure I have yours correct. Because we were out of order a little bit. Okay, so all right, your first question is, should kids be the reason parents stay together?
No, I don't believe that is true. The reason I say that is because due from past experience, I was told from my parents that we should not stay together due to loving a child. We could love a child and co-parent and come as one. I've also had to experience that as well in my life as well. And sometimes people grow apart, and that's understanding. But you have to be on one accord and understanding when you have another life that you're bringing into this world, that you have to be the bigger person, regardless of the circumstances and the situations.
Don't you hate being the bigger person? Let me not even start that.
It's so hard to be the bigger person, but you have to pray about it, keep the faith, and keep your head up, and know that you're doing the right thing. Because at the end of the day, the children are seeing it, and they're going to realize, be like, "Oh, mommy's the one acting the fool, or daddy's the one acting the fool." At the end of the day, the children grow up to be adults just like us, and they will be able to weigh things out and see who was right and who was wrong, and understand the situations. Like, well, I understand why my parents made the decision that they made for us during that time, because now I'm an adult now, and I see exactly why some of the choices that my parents made. I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense now as I'm an adult, and I have to make the same or similar choices for my family. So I definitely don't feel as if we should stay together or anyone. You know, God just blessed you with the extra gift that you guys are supposed to love together and not in the same household.
I totally 100. You hit every nail on the head. Like, yes. And that is the whole key point of being the bigger person, and what makes you continue to stay the bigger person is that your child is looking at you, and you know for a fact that when they get older, they're going to know that you did right, and they're going to see who did wrong.
Yeah, they definitely are. And then it's also about knowing who you're having your children by.
Ooh,
When
Jesus.
you're just jumping into situations and you're just laying down, it takes only one time to get pregnant, vice versa. It takes one time to catch an STD, so we have to teach them and teach our children and learn each other before we jump into bed. I understand people have one night stands and things of that nature. It's okay to enjoy life, but once you hit that age, about 28, 29, it's time to hang that up and start focusing on what reality is bringing to you, because there's no game in this world.
Period. She clean your house and clean up your issues. Period.
I'm actually going to school as well for nursing, so.
There it is. It ain't
Yes,
never
ma'am.
much, girl. Yes. Okay, so Steve is having a seizure down here. Steve, do you want to input, or is she? Because he is having a seizure down here.
Come on, Mr. Staples.
I'm just reacting to what she's saying. She telling it. You know what I'm saying? She telling it, and that's real. Like, the reason I felt what she was saying is because I feel that same way. So I go through it with my children, and the first mother of my children, like, we was together for a while, and it felt like we was together for a while because of the children, and I had to make the decision to say, look, I can't be with individuals because I'm not gonna do right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the thing she said about the children are gonna get old enough to find out who's the individual who was doing the most. That's what and it's gonna come, because it's not me. I'm trying to be the best father I can. I am being the best father I can be, even given the obstacles that I'm given. But
yes,
my children will one day say, you know what? My dad was awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's just the day I'm waiting for. I was just feeling in my soul what she said, man.
Because I'm definitely a living proof, because my parents, they didn't we weren't under the same household, but I was blessed to have a stepmother that actually loved me as as her own
that's
child.
The crazy part,
and you actually, the child is actually able to see that parent is able to be loved by another person, even though it wasn't their actual physical parent.
Yes.
So with that being said, you become into a beautiful blended family, and if people could stay on one accord and stop trying to hold the child over whoever parent's head, then everybody will be happy, because at the end of the day, we're putting these kids out into this world, and that's why so many people messed up in this world because of what their trauma from their childhood, and they're just bringing that same baggage on and on to the next generation, and can never end. So somebody has to take the step and be man enough or woman enough to put an end to the cycle, and that's just what it comes to.
Yes, ain't she preaching? She are looking past your own wants and needs to put that child's needs and wants, because it doesn't matter what you think and how you think it's supposed to go. If people would just realize, put yourself in that child's spot as if you were that age right then, what would you want your parents to do for you right now? You want your parents just to love you.
That's it, and that's all I do. I want to love my children. I'm making it a personal situation, but I feel like everything my kids learned about me, and I'm not gonna say I was a perfect spouse to her. I man up and say I made my mistakes, but my children didn't know anything about the mistakes I made. I kept anything I did to their mom away from, even if we were arguing or whatever. She's the individual who put them in the middle of that and started giving them information and telling them things. And I'm like, what is you doing? Like, they children. They're not supposed to know what's going on, regardless of what's going between us. Keep my children, because now my daughter is older and she feel like she got to play the middle or something, because like from the problems on, she started to see it because her mom invited her into that situation. And my daughter can't be a teenager or a child, because now she feel like she got to play both ways, and I have to say this to you and I got to say this to you, and it's messed up.
She feels conflicted. That's what it is, because you're supposed to listen to both parents. You're supposed to obey both parents. But if you have one parent telling you to do this and one telling you to do that, and as the child growing up, it becomes stressful for the child and confusing for them as well. I actually know a friend that actually went through that, and she was like, I understand the right from wrong, but I have one parent saying this and another saying that, but my dad say obey mom, and my mom say obey dad. So it's like, what do I do to keep myself from getting in trouble, making sure I'm installing all my morals that I'm supposed to get out of both parents.
Right.
So that's why you need to understand who you're laying with and who you're being with, and understanding that person with all of their seasons, good, bad, happy, angry, financially, everything, so that you can understand how to deal with them accordingly. But unfortunately, sometimes we're not able to do that.
Yeah, sometimes we're not able to see the bad in people because we don't get the experience of like the experience don't come up when it's necessary for us to know that this might happen if this happens. So we don't see that part. But when we do see that part, it's like, who are you? Oh no, that's the person. You just didn't see that part.
And a lot of people can fake the funk.
That's what happened.
And a lot of people fake the funk. That is it.
Individual showed me the real them. It was like, you know a person, you think you know a person who you do have a child with. You know what I'm saying? Until shit ain't going their way, or until you moved on and you happy with yourself in your life. And now it's like, okay, I can't control anything but these children, so I'm gonna use these children to the best of my ability to control the situation. And that's but that don't break real men like me, because it's like, okay, you're not you feel like you can hold my children as a pawn over my head until I go the extra mile to give my children, so you can't have that. So when all of that power is stripped away from you and you ain't got none, you got no choice but sit down and chill, because I'm gonna take care of my children regardless.
That is so true.
Ain't nobody keep my kids away from me.
Yeah. See, now that is the mindset that all men need to have. We don't need to go and we don't need to have our men walking around here thinking that just because that's the mother, that they have no rights. They can't, because at the end of the day,
I was him for a while, because I
see,
felt like
that's what I'm saying.
She ran the situation. I was him.
Exactly.
I was him.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I said,
women do not run a situation. I don't know of any, human person that will feel like a woman needs to be stripped from their children. However, I do know a lot of human people that will tell you, you're wrong. This child gonna see their state father, and you need to sit back, because I didn't seen it. And men need to understand that you need to be in your child's life. I'm not very true.
It's about being cordial. It's about trying to be cordial, man. I just be trying try to be cordial as possible to keep the peace until that's broken. And then now I'm the bad guy, because I said, you know what, I'm not gonna let you continue to do what you're doing. And I'm being the a-hole, and I'm being the individual on the other end, like, nah, you got me messed up if you think you finna do this with my children. I wanna be in my children. Like, I need to be in my kids' life. If I was a deadbeat, then you really got something to talk about. But I'm somebody who fight to see his kids, and I gotta go through this.
And that's usually the ones that has to go through it. The ones that want to be in their children's life is the ones that go through the most. And the ones that don't want to be there, they have it so easy.
So easy. So easy.
So easy. But as long as you continue to put your children see it.
I'm sorry, I got another panelist that's having a seizure out here. She wants to talk.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely, you guys. First of all, Steve, I just want to commend you for being that father that is stepping up and want, to be there for his child. Here in the state of Virginia,
children,
the Commonwealth of Virginia, or that is there, I just do stand corrected, is there for his children. But here in this Commonwealth of Virginia, they just pretty much canceled the law. At first they were mothers, like kids shouldn't be pulled away from their mother, like regardless of what the mother did, they were all, standing for the mother. But now it's for the best interest of the child, and that's where it needs to be. So I just wanted to jump in there and just commend you for that, and pretty much say, you hit it right on the nail, lady. Like
thank you.
They just run around popping out babies here, there, and everywhere. And
the thing is that when a man runs around and pop babies here and there and everywhere, they're not understanding that they're emotionally attaching themselves to women that may not be all the way stable to actually deal with you walking away. Yep. And if you don't know the financial, the mental state of someone, you shouldn't be playing with someone's emotions when it comes to that. Not saying that you were, Steve. I'm just saying you could have been just totally honest with her. It just didn't work. However, when men walk around and they do that, and they leave all of this emotional baggage and everything with these women, they don't know what to do to lash out, but to use the children. And if they're not taught the proper way, then they don't have. But hopefully, if you are using your children as a crutch or to hurt any man whatsoever, I hope you listening to this. You are only hurting your children, and you should just stop. And then for the people that, also, once you do this, and then you go and be happy, and that man starts being angry, and he starts giving giving you hell. Oh, then you gonna be mad because you gonna be wanting all of your peace of mind, and then this man gonna be miserable. He gonna say, "Oh well, let me go mess up her life right quick because she messed up ass." So,
no, see
but it also carries the fact with the children at school. You know, I can only go back to education. Like they don't function well. They don't get it. Like kids don't function well when it's confusion. I mean, they see it, they hear it, and you may think they don't hear it, but they do. They hear everything, they see everything, and they bring that stuff into school. And then you want to know why your child's not thriving. Then you want to know why your child's not learning. Then you want to know why your child's ability to want to be better in life is not where it needs to be. It's because of everything that's going on and that they're seeing now.
Yes, that's just like adults. When you have a conflict with your significant other or a conflict with someone you love, and then you go to work, you can't function right at work. You can't function right. And that's a little person that is not even all the way familiar with the way life goes, and they have to deal with all of that. That's just horrible. Like, but hey, we can talk about how people just use it, and we're not just talking about women too, because men do it as well.
Hold on, I wanted to touch on the fact when you was like, let these dudes be knocking women up or whatever. So I was gonna put y'all on some game about men, right? See, some of these dudes, they can't last, right? And they be and they like premature. So they accidentally do this. You know what I'm saying? That's why some of these guys have so many kids.
I mean, that is medically proven.
They don't want to let this woman know that they finished in 30 seconds, so they keep going. And that's how these women be getting pregnant, because some of these dudes ain't built tough for certain equipment that these women have. So don't think they just out here knocking women up like, yeah, I'm gonna get you. No, they be doing it because they can't hang. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all.
So Steve said it. If you can't hang, just tell the girl you just cannot hang.
I ain't mean to make you hot, Jaleesa. I'm sorry. I see you waiting. My bad. I was just telling the truth.
She is cracking up like, oh my goodness, no, he did not.
That's the truth. I'm just telling the truth, you know.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna jump into her second question. Let me go. Y'all are a hot mess.